I, Elsa Kristina Schulving, affirm that this evidence is of my own authorship. I have not appealed to plagiarism in any of its forms, and I establish that in preparing and developing this activity I have followed the guidelines of the Tecnológico de Monterrey Code of Ethics. Hi and a warm welcome to my video. Today I'm taking a closer look at Vattenfall and their campaign Fossil-Free Living Within One Generation. We'll go through what the campaign says, what Vattenfall actually does, why many people see it as greenwashing, and what the company could do better. Corporate climate campaigns shape how the public sees progress. Vattenfall's slogan, Fossil-Free Living Within One Generation, sounds like a fast and credible transition. But to really test the promise, we need to compare the message with reality. Vattenfall's campaign positions the company as a leader working toward fossil-free living within one generation. The slogan was used by Vattenfall between 2017 and 2023. Through online platforms, press releases, YouTube, and social media, the company promotes itself as a driver of innovation and clean energy solutions. The overall effect is to associate the brand with the idea of a clean energy future that had already begun. During the time of the campaign, Vattenfall owned lignite mines. In addition to lignite, Vattenfall also operated hard coal power plants, most notably Moorburg in Hamburg. The plant ended commercial operations in 2020 and closed in 2021. Until 2024, the company also owned coal-fired district heating plants, in which were sold to the city of Berlin in May 2024. Vattenfall are clear with communicating that they generate electricity and heat from a mixed portfolio: hydropower, nuclear, solar, and wind. But they also generate electricity and heat from biomass, waste, and natural gas. Both biomass and gas are controversial due to their real-world climate impacts and methane leakage. First, we have regulatory action. In July 2024, the Dutch Consumer Authority ACM required Vattenfall to stop using the claim fossil-free living within one generation and to improve the accuracy of its environmental statements, as they were deemed potentially misleading to consumers. Second, we have substance versus rhetoric. While the slogan was widely promoted, coal assets remained in operation until 2021 till 2024, and controversies around biomass continued. This reveals a clear gap between the promise of being fossil-free and the company's actual energy mix. Wokeness. The phrase fossil-free living lacks clear boundaries or definitions. Then the future bias. Ambitious long-term goals distract from present-day coal, gas, and biomass operations. And lastly, divestment halo. Selling coal assets may reduce a company's reported emissions, but does not cut global emission if the plants keep running. After all this was revealed in 2024, the company replaced its slogan with "Working for Fossil-Free Freedom." The campaign aligns itself with SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, and SDG 13, Climate Action. However, its credibility weakens when coal and biomass remain part of operations or are merely sold rather than phased out. The campaign also touches SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, and SDG 15, Life on Land, raising concerns about biomass sustainability and land use. Overall, rhetoric without short-term measurable emission reductions risk limiting genuine progress towards the SDGs. When looking at reaction to Vattenfall's fossil-free living within one generation campaign, there haven't been many strong responses from the public on social media or in the company's own channels. Most people have not questioned the message, and public debate have remained limited. Instead, the strongest criticism has come from environmental organizations such as Skydda Skogen and Fridays for Future Sweden, along with activists like Greta Thunberg. These groups have accused Vattenfall of greenwashing through the campaign Vattenfail, launched by Skydda Skogen to highlight the company's continued use of coal and large-scale biomass burning, especially in Germany. The campaign used social media posts, open letters, and protests outside Vattenfall's annual meetings to draw attention to what they call false sustainability claims. Let's talk about what Vattenfall can do better with this campaign. Even though Vattenfall's campaign Fossil-Free Living Within One Generation sounds inspiring, it still shows signs of greenwashing. The company talked about a clean energy future, but they still did use coal in Germany and burned large amounts of biomass, something scientists say releases too much CO2 in the short term. Their goals are also very vague. Within one generation doesn't say when. It could mean 20 or 40 years. They also don't share clear yearly targets or detailed data on how much money actually goes into renewable energy versus fossil fuels. If Vattenfall really wants to prove they are serious, they should be more transparent. They could set specific yearly goals and invite independent audits. Being honest about both progress and problems would make their campaign much more believable and much less like greenwashing. So, in the end and for conclusion, Vattenfall's slogan "Fossil-free living within one generation" sounds inspiring, but its actions haven't fully matched the message. While the company promotes a clean future, it has continued using coal, gas, and large-scale biomass. This gap between words and reality makes the campaign a case of greenwashing. Real credibility will come only when Vattenfall shows transparent data, independent audits, and clear emission cuts. A fossil-free future must be more than a promise. It must be proof. So, 3 things that I have learned with this project. First of all, regulation matters. Consumer authorities can force companies to change vague climate claims. This taught me to look for independent verification, not just brand messaging. Second of all, my assumption was wrong. As a Swede, I always thought the company was a role model and worked 100% fossil free. This project showed me that that hasn't been the case. And the last one, be less naive. I shouldn't automatically believe what a company writes or says. It's better to check the facts myself and form my own opinion. Then, 2 things I want to learn more about. First of all, real-world impact of greenwashing. How does greenwashing affect genuine efforts and actions for a better future? And how has it shaped the world we live in today? Second of all, how to not be fooled as a consumer. During this class, I have learned and I now know more about greenwashing, but I want to know even more what I exactly should look for and avoid to spot greenwashing. And lastly, we have one thing I will change. I will be much more critical of sources. I won't think, oh, what a great project, until I've actually looked into it myself and seen solid evidence behind any green claims.